Hello, everyone. Every time you fall, life is asking you one question. Are you done? Or are you coming back stronger? Most people stop after the first failure because they think falling is a sign they're not meant for greatness. But hear me, failure is not a finish line, it's a classroom. Every setback is teaching you something your success never could. You didn't lose, you learned, you didn't break, you built muscle. You gotta decide that quitting is not your story. I don't care how many times you tried and it didn't work, try again. I don't care who told you you're not good enough, try again. I don't care if you're tired, discouraged, or confused, try again. Because every great person you admire kept moving when it stopped making sense. They kept showing up when no one clapped for them. They believed when there was nothing to see yet. You say it's hard. Of course it is. If greatness was easy, everyone would have it. You say you failed. Good. That means you're in the game. You say you're scared. Perfect. That means your dream is big enough. Growth is uncomfortable, but regret hurts more. So don't let fear freeze you. Don't let doubt distract you. Don't let one fall convince you that the journey is over. Your dream didn't die. It's waiting for you to stand back up. Every time you try again, you level up. You get smarter, tougher, hungrier. You build discipline. You build character. You build a version of yourself that is unstoppable. Don't wait for motivation, build momentum. Don't wait for the perfect moment, create pressure. Don't wait for someone to save you. You become the hero of your own story. Listen to me, your comeback will shock people. Your comeback will inspire others. Your comeback will prove that failure was never the enemy. Quitting was. So breathe, reset, wipe your tears if you need to, and then go again. Oh, push again, fight again. Because if you don't give up, you don't lose. Failure is a classroom, not a dead end. Most people misunderstand failure because they see it as a sign that they're not meant for something, that they're not talented enough, not strong enough, or not smart enough. But failure doesn't speak that language. Failure is one of the most honest teachers life gives you. It doesn't sugarcoat anything. It doesn't lie to you to make you feel better. It shows you exactly where you stand, what you know, and what you still need to grow into. When you fail, the world isn't telling you to stop. It's reminding you that you're in the process of becoming. It's shaping you, stretching you, and preparing you for the weight of the success you're asking for. Think about a classroom. When you walk in on the first day, you don't know everything. You don't expect yourself to be perfect. You're there to learn, to practice, to make mistakes, and to improve. Failure is that same process, just without the desk and the chalkboard. Every time you fall short, you're being shown something you need to work on. Maybe it's discipline, maybe it's consistency, maybe it's your mindset, your preparation, your habits, or your patience. Failure highlights your blind spot so you can turn them into strengths. It puts pressure on your weaknesses so you can build muscle in the area that matter most. Most people fail once and treat it like a full stop. They pack up, shut down, and label themselves as someone who just can't do it. But champion, the people who win, the people you admire, they treat failure like a feedback loop. They study it, they break it down. They ask themselves what went wrong, what they could have done differently, and what they need to adjust. They don't run from the lesson because they understand the lesson is what takes them to the next level. Every successful person has failed more times than most people have even tried. And that's because they kept walking back into that classroom. They hit the day, ready to learn again. Then learn again. Then you also test your hunger. It asks you if you really want what you say you want. It's easy to say you're committed when things are working. It's easy to say you're dedicated when the path is smooth. But when you hit that wall, when you face setbacks, when the results don't show up, that's when life checks your heart. It asks you, is this dream real to you? Is this goal worth fighting for? Will you keep showing up even when you're disappointed? The difference between average and extraordinary is often just a willingness to keep learning through failure. Some people avoid failing because they're scared of how it makes them look. They're afraid of embarrassment, judgment, or feeling small. But the truth is, the only thing worse than failing is refusing to try. Failure stings for a moment, but regret lasts a lifetime. When you choose to step into failure, you choose growth. You choose growth. You choose resilience. You choose the uncomfortable path that leads to greatness. And the people who laugh at you or question you, most of them aren't even brave enough to try in the first place. Failure also builds humility. It reminds you that success isn't guaranteed. It keeps you grounded, focused, and aware of how much work is still required. Some people get a little achievement and think they've arrived. But failure keeps your feet on the ground and your hunger strong. It brings clarity. It forces you to reflect. It forces you to evaluate your habits, your environment, your focus, and your consistency. Without failure, success would make you arrogant. With failure, success makes you grateful. Failure doesn't mean you're losing, it means you're learning. But only if you stay in the classroom long enough to understand the lesson. Some people fail and walk away before they even analyze what happened. They rush to escape the discomfort instead of extracting the wisdom. But champions stay. Champions adjust and apply. They turn every failure into a stepping stone, every setback into a setup, and every mistake into momentum. The moment you stop viewing failure as a dead end and start seeing it as a teacher, everything changes. Your confidence grows because you no longer fear mistakes. Your persistence strengthens because you realize every attempt is moving you forward. Your vision sharpens because you finally understand that progress is messy, unpredictable, and non-linear. You don't beat yourself up as much. You don't quit as quickly. You don't get discouraged as easily. Instead, you recognize that every fall is part of the journey toward your highest self. Every setback teaches something success can. And the sooner you understand that, the quicker you'll start appreciating the moments that felt like they broke you. Success is loud. It fills your ears with applause, compliments, and praise. It makes you feel good, confident, untouchable. But success doesn't challenge you the way failure does. Success doesn't force you to confront your weaknesses, your blind spots, or your habits. Success rarely pushes you to evolve. But setbacks will shake you, expose you, humble you, and rebuild you stronger than before. When life knocks you down, it's not trying to punish you. It's trying to prepare you for the next level. Because every level requires a new you. And the version of you that exists today might not be ready yet. That's why setbacks exist. They're not barriers, they're checkpoints. When things go wrong, when the plan falls apart, when you give everything you have and still come up short, that's where the real education begins. Setbacks teach patience, something success will never teach you. They teach you how to slow down, how to think, how to strategize, and how to analyze. They teach you that things won't always work the first time, and that doesn't mean you're not capable. It just means you're becoming. Success doesn't force you to do better. Setbacks do. Success doesn't make you question your method. Setbacks do. Success doesn't sharpen your discipline. Setbacks do. Every time something doesn't work out, you are handed a golden opportunity to grow. But only if you're willing to stop blaming yourself long enough to see the lesson. Setbacks reveal your real character. Anybody can smile when they're winning. Anybody can stay motivated when everything is going right. But the strong ones, the resilient ones, the champions, those are the people who can stand up after being disappointed, after being rejected, after being overlooked. That emotional strength doesn't come from success. It comes from the days you cried, the days you doubted yourself, the days you felt stuck. Setbacks teach courage, not the kind of courage that shows off, but the kind that whispers, try again. They teach resilience, the ability to take a punch and keep fighting. They teach humility, reminding you that even when you think you've mastered something, there's always room to improve. Setbacks also teach problem solving. When something doesn't work out, you're forced to inspect the process. You start asking yourself important questions. What did I miss? What needs changing? What can I improve? Success doesn't trigger these questions because success tricks you into thinking everything is perfect. But setbacks make you curious. They make you observe. They make you aware. They push you to upgrade your strategy instead of repeating the same mistakes. They force you to become disciplined, organized, and intentional. Most people run from setbacks, but the ones who face them head on become sharper, smarter, and more powerful in their journey. Setbacks teach emotional management. When things don't work out, you're flooded with frustration, disappointment, and sometimes even anger. But learning how to manage those emotions is one of the greatest skills you can develop. It's easy to react. It's easy to panic. It's easy to quit. But the people who learn how to breathe, how to stay calm, how to think clearly in pressure, that level of emotional control is priceless. Success won't teach you that. Only setbacks will. Only losses reveal how you handle yourself when the world stops clapping for you. Setbacks also teach hunger. When something doesn't go your way, you're forced to ask yourself how badly you really want it. Some people quit at the first sign of pressure because the desire wasn't strong enough. But others become even more focused. They become obsessed with improving. They become determined to return with more strength, more preparation, and more belief. That fire doesn't come from winning. It comes from losing. Setbacks teach you to fight harder, push deeper, and commit further than you ever thought you could. Setbacks teach appreciation. When you finally succeed, you'll value that victory so much more because you know how the journey was. If everything worked on the first try, you would take success for granted. You wouldn't value the process. You wouldn't respect the grind. But when you've tasted disappointment, when you've experienced struggle, when you faced moments where you almost gave up, success hits different. It feels earned. It feels deserved. It feels meaningful. Every setback you've experienced has shaped you in a way success never could. They've carved strength into you. They've built discipline into you. They've sharpened your vision, deepened your patience, and expanded your resilience. Setbacks are life's way of crafting a better version of you, one capable of holding the weight of everything you're asking for. Quitting is the only true failure, and deep down you know that. You can mess up, you can fall short, you can make mistakes, change direction, slow down, and even start over. But the moment you quit, that's the moment your dream dies. People think failure happens when something doesn't work out, but that's not failure. That's feedback. That's information. That's life showing you where to adjust. The real failure is when you decide the fight is no longer worth it. When you walk away from something you once believed in. When you choose comfort over growth. That's the moment you lose, not because you couldn't do it, but because you stopped trying. Every champion you ever admired has one thing in common. They didn't quit. They didn't win because they were the fastest, the strongest, or the smartest. They won because they refused to stop, even when they were tired, even when they were discouraged, even when nothing was going their way. What separates winners from everyone else isn't talent, it's persistence. You can outwork someone who's smarter than you. You can outlast someone who's more skilled than you. But you can't beat the person who refuses to quit. That kind of determination is unbeatable. Quitting is tempting because it offers immediate relief. When things get hard, quitting sounds like peace. It promises freedom from frustration, effort, struggle, and disappointment. But what quitting really gives you is a lifetime of a what if. What if I kept going? What if I pushed through? What if I held on a little longer? That regret sticks with you. It becomes a quiet voice that follows you everywhere, reminding you of the moment you walked away. That voice doesn't leave. And the sad part is, you never even find out how close you were to breaking through. See, people quit not because they're incapable, but because they underestimate how close they are. Success doesn't announce itself. It doesn't tell you, oh, one more attempt and you got it. It doesn't whisper, or just a few more steps. It hides behind the obstacle, the struggle. The struggle. Most breakthroughs happen right after the point where people usually quit. That's why perseverance is everything. You don't know when the tide will turn. You don't know which day, which effort, which attempt is the one that changes your whole life. All you can do is keep moving. Quitting also happens when you start listening to the wrong voices. There will always be people who doubt you, who underestimate you, who don't believe in your dream because it doesn't fit their vision of you. But their opinions don't define what you're capable of. Their limitations aren't your limitations. Their fear isn't your fear. If you quit because someone told you it wasn't possible, you're letting their belief system control your destiny. You're handing them the pen to write your story. That's not their job, it's yours. Sometimes quitting looks like choosing the easier path. You tell yourself you'll try again and when life settles, when you feel ready, or when things get better. But these are just softer ways of giving up. Life doesn't hand out perfect conditions. There will always be stress, distractions, challenges, and uncertainty. Waiting for the right moment is another form of quitting, because the right moment never comes. You create the moment by deciding to move despite the chaos. Quitting also steals your identity. Every time you walk away from something you care about, you lose a piece of yourself. You lose trust in your own abilities. You weaken the part of you that believes in commitment, discipline, and persistence. But when you refuse to quit, even when you're tired, you build confidence. You build a mindset that says, I can handle hard things. You build a spirit that becomes unshakable. Every step you take when you feel like stopping makes you stronger mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Choosing not to quit doesn't mean pretending everything is easy. It means acknowledging that things are tough, but deciding you're tougher. It means embracing the discomfort because you know growth lives there. It means trusting the process, even when the process is painful. You don't need perfect progress. You need consistent progress. Though you need to keep showing up even if all you can give today is 1% of what you gave yesterday. That 1% is still movement. Quitting is the only true failure because every other setback is survivable. Every mistake is correctable. Every delay is temporary. Every obstacle is a lesson. The only thing that permanently ends your journey is the moment you decide you're done. But as long as you keep going, as long as you refuse to give up, you're still in the game. And being in the game means you can still win. Ways when trying again builds character and discipline in a way nothing else can. Anybody can stay motivated when everything is working, when progress is obvious, when the results show up instantly. But it's the moments when nothing seems to move, when your effort doesn't match your outcome, when the dream feels distant. That's where character is born. Every time you try again, especially when it feels pointless, you're shaping who you are. Boom! You're building strength in the dark, discipline in silence, and resilience when no one is watching. Trying again isn't just an action, it's a statement. It's you telling life, I'm not done. I'm not breaking. I'm coming back stronger. Character isn't built when you win. Winning feels good, but it doesn't stretch you. It doesn't test your identity. It doesn't force you to dig deep. Character is built when you show up after failure, after disappointment, after frustration. When you wake up tired but still choose to fight. That's character. When you feel discouraged but still give effort, that's character. When you keep your promises to yourself even on the days you don't want to, that's character. It's not about perfection. It's about consistency. It's about doing what needs to be done. Not just when motivation is high, but especially when it's low. Trying again teaches you to be responsible for your own growth. It forces you to own your mistakes. Learn from them. Fix what needs fixing and move forward. That accountability is rare, but it's powerful. People who avoid trying again, avoid responsibility, they blame circumstances, timing, people, or luck. But the person who says, let me try one more time, takes control of their life. They stop pointing fingers and start building solutions. They stop waiting and start working. That mindset builds a foundation of character that will carry you through every challenge ahead. Discipline is built in repetition. Discipline comes from doing something over and over, even when the excitement fades. When you try again, you're training your mind to push through resistance. You're proving to yourself that effort counts, even when it's invisible. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. In every attempt, every retry, every comeback rep shapes that discipline. You're teaching yourself to follow through. You're building habits that support your goals instead of destroy them. You're proving to yourself that you can be trusted with your own dreams. Trying again teaches patience. Not the passive kind of patience where you sit back and wait, but the active kind where you stay committed even when you don't know when the breakthrough will come. You learn that great things take time, that progress isn't always visible. That growth happens under the surface long before it appears in your results. Every time you try again, you're practicing patience and persistence, two qualities that separate champion from everyone else. Trying again builds mental toughness. It trains you to stay steady when things get chaotic. It teaches you not to let emotions control your actions. You learn to work through stress, disappointment, and uncertainty. You learn that discipline doesn't ask you how you feel. It asks you what you're committed to. And every time you act based on commitment instead of emotion, your mental strength grows. You become sharper, more focused, more durable. You develop a mindset that refuses to fold under pressure. Trying again also builds self-belief. Not the fragile kind that depends on success, but the deep, unshakable kind that says, but no matter what happens, I trust myself. When you keep going, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. You prove that you're capable of growth. You prove that you can handle challenges. That belief isn't built by winning. It's built by surviving the losses and continuing anyway. Most people doubt themselves because they stop too soon. Self-belief grows when you continue, not when you quit. Trying again builds humility. It reminds you that mastery takes time. It teaches you to be a student of the process, to listen, to learn, to adjust. You stop expecting perfection and start respecting progress. You stop pretending you have everything figured out and start embracing each attempt as a lesson. Humility doesn't weaken you, it sharpens It makes you open to improvement. It makes you hungry for growth. Trying again builds gratitude. You start to appreciate the small wins, the little improvements, the tiny steps forward. You stop waiting for a big moment to validate your journey and start recognizing the value in every effort you make. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused. It keeps you focused. It keeps you from comparing yourself to others. It reminds you that progress is progress no matter how slow. Trying again builds character and discipline in a way nothing else can. Anybody can stay motivated when everything is working, when progress is obvious, when the results show up instantly. But it's the moments when nothing seems to move, when your effort doesn't match your outcome, when the dream feels distant. That's where character is born. Every time you try again, especially when it feels pointless, you're shaping who you are. You're building strength in the dark, discipline in silence, and resilience when no one is watching. Trying again isn't just an action, it's a statement. It's you telling life, I'm not done, I'm not breaking, I'm coming back stronger. Character isn't built when you win, when it feels good, but it doesn't stretch you. It doesn't test your identity. It doesn't force you to dig deep. Character is built when you show up after failure, after disappointment, after frustration. When you wake up tired but still choose to fight, that's character. When you feel discouraged but still give effort, that's character. When you keep your promises to yourself even on the days you don't want to, that's character. Not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's about doing what needs to be done. Not just when motivation is high, but especially when it's low. Trying again teaches you to be responsible for your own growth. It forces you to own your mistakes, learn from them, fix what needs fixing, and move forward. That accountability is rare, but it's powerful. People who avoid trying again avoid responsibility. They blame circumstances, timing, people, or luck. But the person who says, let me try one more time, takes control of their life. They stop pointing fingers and start building solutions. They stop waiting and start working. That mindset builds a foundation of character that will carry you through every challenge ahead. Discipline is built in repetition. Discipline comes from doing something over and over, even when the excitement fades. When you try again, you're training your mind to push through resistance. You're proving to yourself that effort counts, even when it's invisible. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. And every attempt, every retry, every comeback rep shapes that discipline. You're teaching yourself to follow through. You're building habits that support your goals instead of destroy them. You're proving to yourself that you can be trusted with your own dreams. Trying again teaches patience. Not the passive kind of patience where you sit back and wait, but the active kind where you stay committed, even when you don't know when the breakthrough will come. You learn that great things take time. That progress isn't always visible. That growth happens under the surface long before it appears in your results. Every time you try again, you're practicing patience and persistence, two qualities that separate champions from everyone else. Trying again builds mental toughness. It trains you to stay steady when things get chaotic. It teaches you not to let emotions control your actions. You learn to work through stress, disappointment, and uncertainty. You learn that discipline doesn't ask you how you feel. It asks you what you're committed to. And every time you act based on commitment instead of emotion, your mental strength grows. You become sharper, more focused, more durable. You develop a mindset that refuses to fold under pressure. Trying again also builds self-belief. Not the fragile kind that depends on success, but the deep, unshakable kind that says, no matter what happens, I trust myself. When you keep going, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than your excuses. You prove that you're capable of growth. You prove that you can handle challenges. That belief isn't built by winning. It's built by surviving the losses and continuing anyway. Most people doubt themselves because they stop too soon. Self-belief grows when you continue, not when you quit. Trying again builds humility. It reminds you that mastery takes time. It teaches you to be a student of the process, to listen, to learn, to adjust. You stop expecting perfection and start respecting progress. You stop pretending you have everything figured out and start embracing each attempt as a lesson. Humility doesn't weaken you, it sharpens you. It makes you open to improvement. It makes you hungry for growth. Trying again builds gratitude. You start to appreciate the small wins, the little improvements, the tiny steps forward. You stop waiting for a big moment to validate your journey and start recognizing the value in every effort you make. Gratitude keeps you grounded. It keeps you focused. It keeps you from comparing yourself to others. It reminds you that progress is progress, no matter how slow. Growth is uncomfortable, but regret hurts more. Most people want to grow, want to succeed, want to become the best version of themselves, but they want the process to feel easy. They want progress without pressure, improvement without inconvenience, elevation without effort. But real growth doesn't work like that. Growth stretches you. It pushes you outside what's familiar, challenges your mindset, your habits, your excuses, and your comfort zone. It demands sacrifice, patience, discipline, and emotional strength. And yes, it feels uncomfortable, sometimes even painful. But that temporary discomfort is nothing compared to the lifelong sting of regret that comes from knowing you never tried, never pushed, never took the chance to become who you could be. Every time you choose comfort over growth, you're choosing short-term relief over long-term potential. Comfort never grows you. Comfort keeps you exactly where you are. Comfort protects your ego, but it destroys your future. And ironically, people cling to comfort because they think discomfort will hurt, not realizing that the real pain comes later. The pain of seeing opportunities you missed, dreams you abandoned, and goals you buried because you didn't want to feel uncomfortable for a moment. That pain doesn't go away. Regret stays with you. It follows you quietly, reminding you of what could have been. Growth feels uncomfortable because it forces you to become someone you've never been before. It requires a new level of discipline, a new mindset, a new work ethic. It asks you to break old patterns, challenge beliefs that held you back, and step into uncertainty. And uncertainty scares people. Not knowing if you'll succeed, not knowing if you'll embarrass yourself, not knowing if it's worth it, these things make people hesitate. But discomfort and uncertainty are signs you're moving in the right direction. If your goals don't scare you a little, they're probably not big enough. If your dreams don't stretch you, they're not growth dreams, they're comfort dreams. Every great achiever you admire embraced discomfort. They understood that the price of success is paid up front. They woke up early when they didn't want to. They trained when they were tired. They studied when others were relaxing. They stayed focused when distractions called their name. They put themselves in situations that challenged their limits. They were willing to feel uncomfortable for years so they could live a life most people only dream about. That's the difference. They traded short-term comfort for long-term greatness. Regret, on the other hand, comes from avoiding discomfort. It comes from the "I'll start tomorrow" mindset. Memo mindset. The "I'm not ready yet" mindset. The "what if I fail" mindset. These thoughts seem harmless, but they add up. Time passes, opportunities fade, energy shift, and one day you realize you waited too long. You realize the dream you thought you had time for slipped away while you were protecting your comfort zone. That realization hits harder than any temporary discomfort you could have faced during the process. The truth is, you can choose your pain. You can choose the pain of discipline, effort, sacrifice, and discomfort. Or you can choose the pain of regret, disappointment, and missed potential. One pain lasts for a moment, the other lasts for a lifetime. Discipline may feel heavy in the beginning, but it becomes lighter as you grow. Regret feels light in the beginning, but it becomes heavier every year you carry it. And the saddest part of regret is that you can't undo it. You can't go back in time. You can't rewrite your what ifs. Growth may push you, challenge you, and stretch you, but it also shapes you into a stronger version of yourself. It builds resilience, confidence, and self-belief. You start to see what you're capable of. You break limits you thought were permanent. You build habits that elevate your future. You learn how to handle pressure, manage emotions, and stay committed. That's what discomfort gives you. It doesn't break you, it builds you. Once you get comfortable being uncomfortable, everything changes. You stop running from challenges. You stop avoiding hard conversations. You stop procrastinating. You stop hiding from your own potential. You start taking control. You start taking risks. You start betting on yourself. You start moving with purpose instead of fear. And every time you push through discomfort, you weaken the power regret has over you. At the end of your life, you won't care about how comfortable you stay. You won't care about how easy your days were. You'll only care about whether you lived fully, whether you followed your dreams, whether you became the person you knew you could be. Growth is uncomfortable, but regret is the heaviest weight you'll ever carry. Every attempt builds experience, even when it doesn't build success immediately. People look at a failed attempt and think it was a waste. They think the effort didn't matter because it didn't bring results. What they don't realize is that every single try adds something to you. It adds knowledge, it adds perspective, it adds insight, it adds awareness. Every attempt, whether it works or not, teaches you something you didn't know before. And over time, those lessons stack up. They shape you into someone wiser, sharper, stronger, and more prepared than you were yesterday. Success isn't built on one big moment. It's built on hundreds of attempts that felt like they went nowhere. When you try something more than once, you start to understand the process in a deeper way. On the first attempt, everything is new. You're unsure, you're guessing, you're hoping things go right. But by the second, third, fourth, or 10th attempt, you figure out what works and what doesn't. You learn how to adjust. You learn how to adjust. You learn how to prepare better. You learn how to stay calm. You learn how to break down resistance. That kind of experience can't be bought, and it can't be faked. It's earned through repetition. People underestimate the value of experience because it's invisible. You can't measure it the same way you can measure success. You can't post it online. You can't brag about it. You can't show it off. But experience is the foundation of every victory you will ever achieve. The more you try, the more experience you build. And the more experience you build, the closer you get to the results you're chasing. Every attempt gives you a new angle. You begin to see the details you missed before. Maybe you realize your timing was off. Maybe you see you weren't as prepared as you thought. Maybe you notice a habit that needs changing, a mindset that needs adjusting, or a skill that needs refining. Experience sharpens your vision. It helps you see things clearly, without emotion, without fear, without ego. You start to understand why things didn't work instead of just assuming you're not good enough. And once you understand, you can improve. Experience builds confidence. Not the fake confidence that comes from talking big, but the real confidence that comes from surviving failures and still standing. When you've tried something many times, you stop fearing it. You stop worrying about what could go wrong because you've already seen things go wrong and you handled it. You learned from it, you came back from it. That kind of confidence earned is built through trial and repetition. Every attempt also builds resilience. You become mentally stronger because you've trained your mind to keep going. You've shown yourself that you can survive disappointment, frustration, and setbacks. You learn not to panic when things fall apart. You learn how to stay calm under pressure. You learn how to move forward even when you feel discouraged. People who never try again never build this kind of resilience from the beginning. They crumble easily because they've never taught themselves how to endure. Every attempt builds discipline. When you keep showing up, even when you don't feel motivated, you're training yourself to follow through. You're practicing commitment. You're developing a mindset that says, I finish what I start. Discipline isn't built on perfect days. It's built on the days you force yourself to try again, even when you're tired or uncertain. That discipline becomes one of the most powerful tools in your entire life. Every attempt gives you a better strategy. You become more strategic with your approach. You learn how to manage your time, how to plan your steps, how to work efficiently instead of blindly. You learn how to set goals, track progress, and adjust your efforts. Experience gives you a blueprint. It turns guesswork into direction, turns confusion into clarity. Every attempt builds emotional strength. You learn how to deal with frustration without quitting. You learn how to handle disappointment without losing hope. You learn how to regulate your emotions, stay focused, and keep your energy steady. That emotional maturity helps you in every part of your life, not just in your goals. Most importantly, every attempt brings you closer. Even when you can't see progress, progress is happening. You may not feel the change immediately, but you're becoming better, smarter, and more capable with each try. Your skills improve. Your mindset evolves. Your habits strengthen. Your understanding deepens. You're leveling up internally long before the results show up externally. Every attempt builds experience, and experience builds success. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, something is happening inside you. Something is changing. Something is growing. Something is preparing you for the moment everything finally clicks. When you decide to try again, one of the most powerful shifts you can make is learning to separate your identity from your mistakes. Too many people treat failure like a mirror, as if it reflects who they are at their core. But failure isn't a mirror, it's a moment. It's an event, not a definition. You aren't your last bad decision, not your last missed opportunity, and you aren't the scoreboard from yesterday. Every champion you admire, every speaker, athlete, entrepreneur, artist, leader has a past filled with moments they wish they could erase. The difference is that they refuse to let those moments decide their future. When you try again, you're not rewriting who you are, you're rediscovering who you've always had the potential to be. And that mindset changes everything, because once you understand that you're not limited by what happened before, you free yourself to step into what can happen next. People often say, I failed, so maybe this isn't for me. But that's not how mastery works. You don't get great because things always went your way. You get great because things didn't go your way and you kept showing up anyway. When you try again, it doesn't mean pretending the past didn't happen. It means refusing to surrender your future because of the past. There's a reason the most successful people can talk so openly about their setbacks. They don't feel shame about them anymore. Why? Because they outgrew them. They used them. They turned them into fuel. That's what trying again makes possible. It's not about repeating the same steps blindly. It's about stepping forward with new awareness, new humility, new hunger. You learn something every time you fall, even if the lesson didn't appear immediately. And when you gather those lessons and move forward with them, you don't come back as the same version of yourself. You come back wiser, sharper, and more prepared than the person who first attempted the journey. Trying again is also an act of self-belief. You don't get up because someone claps for you. You don't get up because the world expects it. You get up because something inside you quietly insists that you are capable of more than the world has seen. That inner voice is easy to ignore, especially when disappointment is fresh. But the truth is That voice becomes clearer every time you push forward. The moment you decide to try again, even if you're scared, even if your confidence is low, you signal to yourself that you're worth fighting for. And that is one of the strongest forms of self-respect. You stop depending on external validation and start building internal conviction. You realize that you don't need every step to be perfect. You just need to keep stepping. There will be people who don't understand why you keep pushing. They will wonder why you aren't satisfied with stopping. They may even think you're wasting your time, but trying again isn't for them. It's for you. You are the one who has to live with the results of the choice you make. You are the one who has to carry the weight of the dreams you ignore. No one else wakes up inside your body. No one else lives in your mind, feels your ambition, or sees the world through your eyes. That's why you can't hand over the authority to decide when you're done. Every time you try again, you take ownership of your life in a way that most people never do. The truth is, trying again is rarely convenient. It often happens in moments when you feel drained, embarrassed, frustrated, or discouraged. But that's precisely what makes it so powerful. Anyone can keep going when momentum is on their side. Anyone can smile when things are easy. The real test, the real growth comes when you choose to move despite discomfort. Trying again builds resilience in a way no motivational quote ever can. It turns pressure into strength. It makes your character deeper, your mind tougher, and your spirit louder. It strengthens the parts of you that no one can see but everyone can feel. And when you try again, you also change the narrative you tell yourself. Instead of saying, I always fail, you begin saying, I keep rising. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, you begin saying, I'm improving. Instead of saying, oh, this is impossible, you begin saying, this is difficult, but I'm capable. That shift in inner dialogue is subtle, but it becomes the foundation of everything you do. You become someone who doesn't fear the journey anymore because you've learned to trust your ability to continue. And once you trust yourself to continue, there is almost nothing you can't achieve. When you make the decision to try again, you also step into a deeper level of self-control, the kind that allows you to stay focused on what truly matters, even when distractions pull you from every direction. Most people don't fail because they lack potential. They fail because they lose focus. They get caught up comparing themselves to others, worrying about judgments, or wasting time on things that don't contribute to their growth. Trying again isn't only about action. It's about clarity. It's about recognizing what deserves your energy and what doesn't. When you try again with a focused mind, you eliminate the noise, the unnecessary pressure, and the emotional clutter that held you back last time. You step into the version of yourself that can stay committed even when life gets complicated. Focus is one of the most underrated forms of power. When you truly know what you want, distractions lose their strength. They don't disappear, but they stop controlling you. Trying again means you set boundaries, not just with other people, but with yourself. You decide what habits you're going to break, what mindsets you're going to replace, and what priorities you're going to protect. You start paying attention to things you used to ignore, how you spend your time, who influences your mindset, and whether the things you do each day bring you closer to your goals or pull you further away. Every moment becomes intentional. Every choice becomes meaningful. You stop drifting and start directing your path. When you strengthen your focus, you also strengthen your discipline. Trying again is not just an emotional moment, it's a commitment. It's choosing to do the hard work even when motivation fades. It's showing up when you're tired, continuing when results are slow, and staying consistent when no one is clapping. Discipline becomes your shield against excuses. It becomes a structure that supports your growth. You begin to realize that discipline isn't punishment, it's empowerment. It frees you from regret. It protects your progress. It ensures that you stay aligned with your goals instead of letting temporary feelings dictate your action. Trying again with a focused and disciplined mindset also improves your emotional control. You stop reacting impulsively to setbacks. Instead of panicking when something goes wrong, you analyze it. Instead of quitting because you feel discouraged, you pause and reset. Instead of believing every negative thought, you challenge it. Emotional control is a skill, and trying again is the training ground where you develop it. You become more patient with yourself and more strategic with your responses. You stop letting frustration dictate your decision, and you stop letting disappointment cloud your vision. You begin to operate from purpose, not from emotion. Another transformation that happens when you focus is that you learn how to protect your mental space. You stop allowing negativity, drama, and unnecessary stress to dominate your thoughts. You stop giving your energy to people who drain you. You limit the influence of environments that distract you. Trying again means you're no longer living on autopilot. You're choosing what enters your mind. You treat your attention like the valuable currency it is. You invest it where it counts into your improvement, your dreams, your skills, and your peace. You also learn to prioritize long-term fulfillment over short-term pleasure. The world is filled with distractions designed to keep you comfortable but stagnant. Entertainment is everywhere. Quick rewards are everywhere. And it's easy to lose weeks, months, even years in things that don't help you grow. But when you choose to try again, you become aware of these traps. You start valuing progress more than temporary comfort. You learn to delay gratification. You learn to say no, not because you're missing out, but because you refuse to miss out on your potential. Trying again sharpens your ability to reset after setbacks. You realize that being discouraged is normal, but staying discouraged is optional. You begin to recover faster from mistakes. You begin to adapt instead of collapse. You begin to see challenges as opportunities to adjust your approach. This mental flexibility gives you stability. It gives you confidence because you know you can handle whatever comes. You stop fearing problems because you've learned how to think through them rather than panic around them. And as your focus grows, your vision becomes clear. You start seeing what's possible for you. You start believing in what your effort can build. You begin to notice improvement in places where you used to see limitation. Your mind becomes stronger, your decisions become smarter, and your life begins shifting in ways you once thought were out of reach. You realize that trying again isn't just about getting another chance. It's about becoming someone who can handle the journey better than before. Champions aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who always rise. And that simple truth separates ordinary people from extraordinary ones. Life isn't about avoiding failure. It's about learning how to respond when failure hits. The world will test you constantly, throwing obstacles in your path, challenging your patience, and questioning your dedication. Some of those moments will knock the wind out of you. Some will leave you discouraged. Some will make you doubt yourself in ways you never expected. But the champions, the people who leave a mark, the ones history remember, they are not defined by the falls they took. They are defined by the strength, the courage, and the determination they displayed each time they got back up. Rising again is where greatness is forged. Every time you rise after a fall, you build resilience. Resilience is not something you are born with. It's something you earn. It's cultivated through repeated experiences of hardship, disappointment, and challenge. When you face adversity and get up again, you teach yourself that setbacks are temporary, that failure is not final, and that you are stronger than the circumstances surrounding you. Resilience transforms fear into fuel. It changes hesitation into action. It makes you someone who doesn't wait for opportunities to be perfect. You create them. You create them. You chase them. And you grab them because you know your ability to recover is more powerful than the obstacle. Rising after failure also teaches humility. Each time life knocks you down, you are reminded that you are human. You are reminded that success is not guaranteed, that talent alone is not enough. Hard work, perseverance, and commitment matter more than love. Humility is the recognition that no matter how skilled or accomplished you are, life will continue to challenge you. But when you embrace humility, you stop taking shortcuts. You stop assuming you have all the answers. You start listening more and learning more and working hard. Each rise after a fall is an exercise in patience, in self-reflection, and in dedication. Another crucial lesson in rising again is the development of mental toughness. It's easy to feel motivated when things are smooth, when progress is visible, and when encouragement is constant. But mental toughness is built in the moments of discomfort, in the days when motivation is low, when results are delayed, and when you feel like giving up. Mental toughness is the voice inside you that says, I'm going to keep going even though I don't feel like it. Each time you get back up, that voice grows stronger. It becomes louder than doubt, louder than fear, and louder than the negative opinions of others. Over time, you no longer need external validation. Your inner conviction becomes enough to keep moving forward. Rising repeatedly also strengthens your character. Character isn't developed through ease. It is sculpted in pressure, adversity, and repeated effort. Every time you refuse to quit, you show courage. Every time you push through pain, disappointment, or failure, you show discipline.